Warm-up and tech chaos. Stream starts with the camera frames flipped. They joke about whose side of the bed they're sitting on. Craig's feed keeps freezing. They debate whether they're being DDoS attacked or just need a better router. They thank Invisible Karma for gifting memberships. Light chit-chat about storm damage, devices hogging bandwidth, and how orange Britney's cup looks on camera. Music and nostalgia interlude. Craig names Alice in Chains and Stained as favorite bands. They sing lines from Nutshell. Short detour into memories of cruising town as teens, jumpers for their son Neil, and joking about being nerds whose favorite film is Idiocracy. Settling in / announcements. Britney apologizes for delays, asks for thumbs up, and shouts out viewers. Prayer request for community member, Hot Mess, who has ankle surgery next day. True Crime Segment 1, Nicole Johnson Case, Baltimore, Maryland, played the July 28, 2021 Baltimore County body cam video in real time, pausing often. Case recap given on air. Nicole Johnson, pulled over for fake tags, had the mummified remains of her 7-year-old niece, Joselyn, and 5-year-old nephew, Larry, in bags/suitcases in the trunk. Children had been dead 2 years and 1 year, respectively, both severely malnourished. Host's commentary and emotion. Craig is stunned by officers' reactions, praising one who held the whole scene together. Brittney points out when grown male officers begin to cry, describes medical examiner details, Joselyn 18 pounds, Larry 21 pounds. They discuss systemic family failure, sister who abandoned kids, prior DSS involvement. Debrief and emotional breather. Both hosts acknowledge the heaviness of the footage, share sympathy for responding officers and the children. True Crime Segment 2, Megan Elizabeth Dolphin Case, Panama City, Florida. They roll the 2020 interrogation video of Megan Dolphin. Case recap given on air. 7-week-old Grace Garner died after being left 4 hours in a hot SUV while her mother was inside the house masturbating. Toxicology, mother's meth level 7 times impairment threshold, 200+ ing/ml. Mother ultimately convicted of aggravated manslaughter, sentenced to 30 years. Host's commentary. Craig, who loves interrogation psychology, dissects the detective's tactics. He's good, maybe a 7 or 8 out of 10. They notice Megan secretly swallowing a Xanax in the room. Point out earlier OD incident on GHB, her long substance abuse record, boyfriend's rap sheet. Wind down, community talk and future plans. Hosts discuss doing more body cam/interrogation breakdowns on a backup channel. Exchange about persistent trolls. Craig advises, forgive and keep moving. Final thanks to donors, Junpei, Sam, etc., and reminder to pray for community members. Stream ends around 3 hours 20 minutes mark. Tone and interaction. Casual and intimate, feels like friends hanging out late at night, inside jokes, singing, lightly flirting, calling viewers by name. Emotionally raw, both hosts tear up during the Nicole Johnson body cam. Britney is audibly distressed by child victim details. Didactic true crime commentary. Craig offers running analysis of police procedure. Britney provides case facts, timelines, victim info. Community-driven, frequent pauses to thank gift givers, address prayer requests, and clap back at trolls. Key takeaways for viewers. Technical struggles didn't stop an engaged chat. Supporters even gifted memberships while Craig's video stuttered. Nicole Johnson case dominated the first true crime hour, a stark reminder of how traffic stops can uncover hidden horrors and how officers process trauma. Megan Dolphin interrogation showcased meth-related negligence, detective interview strategy, and the importance of invoking counsel. Hosts future content. They plan to focus more on interrogation/body cam breakdowns on a secondary channel and may multi-stream across TikTok, X, Facebook, and YouTube. Overall, the live blended lighthearted couple banter with deeply disturbing true crime analysis, maintaining an empathetic stance toward victims and first responders while rallying a supportive late-night community around discussion and prayer. selective presentation and missing context. Body cam and interrogation clips were highly edited by the third-party YouTube creators Brittney used. A skeptic would note that the hosts, and therefore the audience, only saw what the clipmaker wanted them to see. Without the full, uncut videos, crucial timeline details, officer dialogue, and procedural steps might be omitted, subtly steering emotions and conclusions. Reliance on second-hand facts. Brittney and Craig repeatedly filled in backstory, dates of death, autopsy weights, toxicology numbers, GHB overdose, etc., from memory while reacting in real time. They cited no primary documents, no charging affidavits, court transcripts, medical examiner reports, or toxicology sheets, so a skeptic would question the precision of those figures and whether any sensational details migrated from Reddit threads or true crime blogs rather than the case file. Emotional framing versus analytic distance. The stream leaned hard on emotional language, brutally unalived, beast of a mother, demonic, tearful pauses, and the officer's reactions as proof of the crime's horror. That does convey the gravity, but it can also short-circuit critical questions about investigative procedure, e.g., chain of custody, prior CPS involvement, reliability of lab work, defense arguments. Armchair forensics and diagnosis. Craig repeatedly inferred meth use, mental illness, or being on substances simply from demeanor or slurred speech. While he turned out to be right about Dolphin's toxicology, those calls were still guesswork. A skeptic would flag how easily true crime commentary drifts into amateur pathology and how tempting it is to label any shocking act drug-fueled without documented proof. Potential exploitation of trauma for entertainment. The hosts promised future streams built around body cam/interrogation breakdowns. Skeptics might ask, is the channel primarily informing the public, or cultivating a shock loop because grisly content boosts watch time, super chats, and member gifts? The repeated thanks for gifted memberships immediately after harrowing footage blurs that line. Tension between justice, rhetoric and due process realities. Brittney often says she deserves life in prison while the interrogation is still playing. A skeptic would point out that those videos show allegations still subject to trial, or, at the time, pre-trial. Viewers are primed to see guilt as a foregone conclusion before a jury even deliberates. Chat-driven confirmation bias. The stream's live chat cheered when hosts expressed outrage and mocked trolls who questioned details. Because dissenting voices get drowned out, or banned, the room can become an echo chamber, making it hard for even good-faith viewers to float alternative explanations or spot factual slips. Technical problems as narrative hook. The early, "Are we being DDoS'd?" speculation likely isn't malicious, just frustration, but a skeptic would see it as an example of dramatic self-centering, ordinary Wi-Fi lag repackaged as a targeted attack, reinforcing a feeling of embattled community and keeping viewers engaged through the chaos. Bottom line for a critical viewer. The stories covered are undeniably horrific, but the stream mixes genuine concern with theatrical shock, informality, and unsourced assertions. A skeptic would keep an independent tab open, pull original charging documents or local news court coverage, and treat the host's real-time impressions as commentary, not conclusive fact. 1. Provenance and editing of source material. What happened? The stream relied on third-party compilations of body cam and interrogation videos that the hosts paused and discussed. Critical concerns. Clipmaker bias. Viewers saw an edited narrative, music, voiceover, pacing, not the raw footage. Edits can crop key timeline details, officer dialogue, and procedure. Missing documents, no charging affidavits, court dockets, me reports, or talk screens were shown, dates and numbers were asserted verbally. Better practice, display or link primary sources on screen, and separate what the clip claims from what the record says. 2. Fact claims versus evidence. Examples needing verification. Nicole Johnson case, weights, 18 pounds, 21 pounds, elapsed times, malnourishment levels. Are these straight from the autopsy or media summaries? Megan Dolphin case, meth level 7 times impairment line and prior GHB overdose, court exhibit or internet retelling. Better practice, show the page/line from the document while citing the figure. 3. Rhetoric and framing. What happened? Strong labels, demonic, beast, brutally unalived, and immediate thanks to donors after distressing clips. Critical read. Emotional priming can substitute for evidence. Whiplash between tragedy and monetization can look like trauma content used for engagement. Better, partition donation thanks into separate intervals, use neutral language for fact delivery. 4. Armchair forensics. What happened? Hosts declared drug use or mental illness from slurred speech and posture. Critical read. Even when a later tox report matches, visual diagnosis is still guesswork. Better, label guesses clearly, wait for lab documents before stating causes. 5. Presumption and timing. What happened? She deserves life, said while an interrogation played. Critical read. Comments assume guilt before trial steps are completed. Better, banner that clarifies, alleged until verdict, with verdict dates when available. 6. Ethics of graphic detail. Query, could the horror be conveyed without repeated descriptions of decomposition? Offer timestamp trigger warnings plus hotline resources for vicarious trauma. 7. Chat dynamics and confirmation loops. Contradictory comments removed or mocked, reinforcing one viewpoint. Suggestion: include a structured Q&A segment where well-framed contrary questions are addressed with sources. 8. Drama inflation from tech issues. Router lag was reframed as a possible DDoS attack, fueling us against them suspense. 9. Privacy and stigma. Strong assertions about relative sex work, mental illness, CPS history aired without documents. Distinguish confirmed facts from rumor to avoid collateral harm. 10. Quality of analysis. Craig's interrogation tactics breakdowns are useful, rating detectives 7 out of 10 is entertainment, not analysis. When naming tactics, cite policing manuals, e.g., minimization, theme development. 11. Monetization incentives. Super Chats celebrated seconds after tragic clips. This format rewards shock. Move donor shoutouts to clearly separated segments. 12. Practical checklist for a source-focused viewer. Primary source pack, docket, me report, sentencing order. Chronology slide of key dates. Columns, documented versus hypothesis. Disclosure slide of contested or unknown items. Ethics note, content warnings, and victim support links. Bottom line. The live stream blends sincere empathy with edited material, unsourced assertions, and real-time monetization. A viewer seeking airtight accuracy should look for raw documents, cautious language, and clear separation between emotional reaction and verified fact. Advice for viewers. Look up primary sources while you watch. That means charging affidavits, sentencing orders, or autopsy summaries. Doing this fills the gaps left by edited clips and makes sure you're reacting to documented facts, not just a YouTube montage or an off-the-cuff remark. Treat the host's commentary as opinion, not gospel. Brittney and Craig react well in real time, but they sometimes rely on memory or secondary articles. Verify any specific date, victim weight, toxicology number, or quote. Monitor your own emotional load. The live stream can jump from light banter to graphic detail in seconds. If you're sensitive to child abuse or decomposition descriptions, be ready to pause or skip ahead. Use the chat constructively. Ask for source links, share reputable articles, and politely flag claims that lack evidence. That helps the whole discussion stay grounded. Separate supporting the channel from supporting the victims. Super chats and gifted memberships fund the hosts, totally fine, but they aren't the same as donating to child advocacy or victim support nonprofits. Advice for Brittney J and Craig, moving forward. Show your receipts, on screen, please. We love a dramatic reading of Googleable facts, but maybe drop the mystery and slap those charging docs, me reports, and lab sheets in a sidebar. Citation. Page and line, darling. Shock us with transparency. Chop the show into actual segments. Try this revolutionary structure: warm up and coffee, then the grim case with a big neon content warning timer, followed by Q&A, then your donation roll call. Voila, no more tonal whiplash that leaves viewers feeling like they're on a free-fall ride at Six Flags. Wave a giant flag when you're guessing. Just mutter, theory hat on, whenever you're spitballing, and document says, when you've, read something official. Future you will thank present you when Twitter isn't roasting your timeline. Breathe before you scream, demonic monster. We get it, you're outraged. But drop the pitchfork until you've shown the evidence chain, CPS timeline, and the defense claims. Otherwise you're just providing background vocals for the mob. Give the grown-ups 5 minutes for real questions. Let a mod surface legit challenges, source gaps, conflicting timelines, then answer them like a boss, or promise the doc next stream. It's called credibility. Try it on, it fits. Quarantine the tip jar moment. Reading super chats 10 seconds after describing a decomposed toddler is a choice. Maybe thank donors in a midstream break so nobody confuses grief with a 2-for-1 sale. Moderate, don't incinerate, respectful dissent. Ban the trolls, sure. But people citing sources. Keep them. Your block button isn't raid for facts you find inconvenient. Trim the saga or split it. 3 hours of routers dying, but here's a corpse, is marathon fatigue. 2-night events exist, Netflix does it, you can too. Drop resource links like a grown-up. If you're going to show child abuse horror, end with helplines, counseling resources, and document repositories. Turn voyeurism into something vaguely useful. Bottom line. Viewers, watch actively, verify, pace yourself. Hosts, tighten sourcing, separate tones, welcome measured pushback, and give graphic material the breathing room and documentation it deserves. This concludes my summary. Thank you. And may you have a lovely day.